Oh, all right. Good morning. Um, so overnight, traded to the equilibrium of yesterday's candle, actually pretty much to the tick. So we traded right to the previous day's equilibrium, formed SMT with London and Asia low, and then got a expansion move up into all-time highs. We do have an SMT with the previous day's high with YM at the moment. So I'm going to monitor that. But because we put in the SMT with Asia and London low right at previous day's equilibrium, I'm expecting a possible continuation just up into all-time high territory. But because this 6 a.m. candle has already expanded to the drawn liquidity, I'll definitely be waiting for 10 a.m. to see how this candle prints. YM has relative equal highs from yesterday, which is the previous day's high as well. And he got a decent retracement off of all-time highs. I wouldn't really consider shorts until honestly, both those 50-minute gaps would have to get inverse for me to even consider, but I just don't like it based on the low a day that we put in. I like that as a low a day. It isn't out of any PD ray, like a fair value gap or anything like that, but it is based off of the previous day's equilibrium. So can't expect that to be low of the day. We filled the lower 50-minute imbalance as well. So we have an SMT there with ES. ES filled the upper one, but failed to trade to the lower one. Strong reaction off of that. Quick bias, yeah.
What did you like? What'd you say?
Do you want me to say it all again?
No, just like give me a recap.
Low a day was put in right at the equilibrium of yesterday's candle.
Oh, the current low day, yeah.
And there's SMT with Asia and London low, so
Yes, that is a nice
it's
estimate.
not going to be jumping into shorts.
So here's my theory. I want to be I want to be bullish because the classic all time highs just kind of maintain that bullish bias. But I don't want to really be bullish. I do lean bearish, but I'm not going to force the bearish bias because we've not confirmed it yet. So that's why. I mean, this is the regular trading hours. Hold on. So I've got these two 15-minute fair value gaps marked out. Want to see, well, more importantly, this one that we just traded into. I want to see how that one is respected. I do, like I said yesterday, I want to focus on the opening range, extended opening range. So the first 30 minutes up till 10 a.m. I want to see a bit of the volatility there. We have got that large opening range, right? Like I was on the regular trading hours. It's a decent move. It's a 57-point regular trading hour gap. Just about got into that the 50% of it there. ES is more bullish than IQ right now. Off of opening, had that little manipulation lower, and it's running out the internal high. It's looking like it's going to put an SMT in, like there. Yeah, but it is coming close to that high. So I guess what I'd be watching off of that, because it's not really fitting my continuation bias, is I'd be looking for maybe a reversal from there, because it would be internal SMT and some stuff. But I do keep in mind the fact that we have dropped into that 50-minute right at equilibrium, and it would be a good retracement for the continuation. Some days, especially all-time high days, my bias is not 100%, as in like I don't lean 100% one way. 'Cause it does kind of get hard at all-time highs to say we're going higher, especially when it's 5 days in a row you've taken it. You're just like, when's the top day? Because there's nothing to the left to base it off of. The only thing is to the downside. So I think
When the other thing is, YM's the only one that hasn't traded to all-time highs yet. So we do have SMT there, but YM is like pumping through its 4 hour gap. So I mentioned that previous day's high. Like we have those relative equal highs.
should trade YM today.
I mean, it's the only one that actually has like a target to trade to, so it makes sense to trade it. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, it has the S&T there too.
Yeah,
But look at your volatility on YM. Like, it's way better than NQ. NQ, I mean, on the 4 hour, it is kind of the same. But yeah, I guess we do have the targets, like the highs there. And they are kind of like relatively equal as well.
I think he's got a good reaction off that 15-minute gap.
I would say that it's definitely going to continue being bullish for a bit. It's going to be more like okay, as soon as this is weird. So sometimes NQ and YM are completely inversely correlated, right? So if I pull up YM and go to the 1 minute, well, as soon as YM starts going down, NQ goes up. They literally are working opposite right now. Like each tick that NQ goes up, YM goes down a tick. It's funny to watch it like that. It's so weird how they're correlated when it is like that. Okay, is there SMT with the S? I don't want to have the SMT drawn out unless it is there. There's no SMT yet. I'll draw it out when it is put in. So what I would want to see for being bullish and expecting the continuation would just be this 5 minute inverse. That'd be as simple as that. Otherwise, I'm looking at the internal SMT with, I guess, YM here. I'll leave the SMT drawn up because that is with YM. And a potential for this to be the high, but we kind of know that that seems less likely. Yeah, so that SMT with those session lows was really good. Last night in Asia session, I had a really bearish bias. I would have had a very bearish bias coming into the day if it followed my plan. Did not follow my plan. As soon as London session opened, we rallied higher, then inversed pretty much the bearish look and gave a very bullish look. There. Are you wanting to take longs or are you wanting to take shorts?
At the moment, neither.
Well, no, like which do you want to take? Not like if you were to press a button right now, which one are you pressing? I'm saying like which would like of today, if you were trading in a direction, what would it be? You think?
Well, I mean, I think it would make more sense for longs because the low day is nice. I like the low day that we formed.
Well, the S&T does seem pretty
right at the previous day's equilibrium. Like we tapped it pretty much to the tick.
But then my argument would be that the expansion was in London session into New York, very early pre-market. That 4 hour, the 6 a.m. candle was the expansion. So, from there, I don't necessarily expect 10 to continue through all-time highs. I'm just looking at the 15 minute. Like the 15 minute candle trades to the high, wicks above, closes back on it. It's kind of hesitating here. So it really does depend on this 15 minute candle here.
Like we do have SMT to highs with YM currently.
I've got it marked out.
So we'll see.
Like I think it could be another case. I mean, I guess just like yesterday where we had the 6 a.m. candle low get taken. It is kind of looking the same as yesterday. Okay, ES is inversed at 5 minute. I just noticed that. It inversed a while ago, but it's trading within the inverse. I guess if I, didn't input any of my own personal opinion, it would technically look bullish. If I wasn't like, I want to be bearish, then I guess it would just be a very bullish market. So I think to stick with that bias until it gets proven wrong would be good. I do want to see this opening range clear out, though. It's kind of been a little bit overlappy for what I want to see. We do have a small first presented fair value gap, really down in
The hourly candle is flipped back bullish now after wicking down into that hourly inversion and that lower 50-minute gap.
If you were to long, what would you target?
Probably just a fixed R. Do like a 2R.
Fixed 5R?
Or go to like a round number.
16?
Like if I mark out standard deviations of that London manipulation, there is 2 to 2.5, which is up above us here.
Of Monday's manipulation. You're talking about London session?
Yeah.
I've got it marked out. It's already tagged it. It traded to 2.5 yesterday. It traded to 2 to 2.5 right in the AM session. That was kind of...
No, like London session's manipulation.
From Monday?
No, like today.
Oh, okay.
Like London's like last night.
You said Monday. That's why I had Mondays marked out. Monday's London session manipulation. Yeah, we just traded to 1.5 to the pretty much tick at that high there. So people actually just trade off of these levels. And I guess Powell's kind of handed that out too. He uses standard deviations, doesn't he? He'll use the 1.5 and be like, boom, it top ticked here. Really no direction in that though. I don't know how accurate it would be to just sell off of those levels. I guess you could overlap it with the fact that we were above the buy side just a little bit and expect the retracement, but I guess you'd win with a larger R. Have a tight risk, so. So to me, this kind of first 15 minutes is looking pretty choppy. So I want to just see the close, wait for the next 15 minutes.
We did just take a significant pool of liquidity pre-open though. And typically when you take that,
Well, we had a good expansion too, yeah.
when you take that like that high quality pool of liquidity pre-open, consolidation is usually what follows.
Feels like consolidation follows every freaking thing.
Because every London session's been nice recently.
Yeah, so it feels like we are wrong for trading now. It feels like we've been wrong for trading this time. It's kind of why I've tried to adapt. But today, it's a little different. I like to point this out before it potentially happens. Usually on open, it's not overlapping wick and like slow kind of movement. It's one-sided and very decisive of where it wants to go, and it hasn't done that today. So what I'm kind of theorizing is that after 10 a.m. we'll actually have some good movement. Because there's a decent chance that today's regular trading hours range is over 150 points. So there's a very decent chance. So that'd be a move to London's low. So this is the new 15-minute candle printing because we just closed the previous one there. So kind of opens up instantly, getting a little bit more movement than the first opening range candle. It's traded down to the first presented fair value gap. Although it's small, might be pretty strong. Gonna just mark it out. I'm not gonna mark it out. It's gonna get inversed. I'm gonna leave the box. I don't need to title it. But I don't want to participate in this market right now. All right, we're gonna have to take one at either end of this range here and clean up the price action just a little bit.
Just rather put them up.
It's very back and forth right now, even just with these candles.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll get cleared up at 10, because we have a small hourly gap there. So if we get like a little manipulation of that low SMT, and then
That hourly gap.
well, I'm just thinking like if we're gonna get a move higher, it's gonna be within this 4-hour candle that we're printing right now, and the only really PD ray in that area is giving me that hourly gap.
We usually don't like that because it would be formed on a big down candle. Maybe. So looking at YM has inversed that up move. Still has, I guess you could point out the SMT here. But YM is aggressively hunting for the pre-market lows and yeah, pretty much just the pre-market lows. That's the safe bet right here. Or I guess the 4-hour low is what I would call it. Going right to that, and then below it would be London low, but that would be quite a bit below it. This is YM. I'll pull it up. It's a 1-minute YM. Very, very fluid in comparison to NQ here. We get the manipulation higher. Then it's inversed. Then it works its way lower. Gets a bit more expansion. Slightly easier to read, right? And this is the 4-hour pre-market lows I was talking about. I said it's hunting and hunting aggressively. So I guess you could call them equal lows because they are equal. but it's also the 4 hour candle low. So looks like it's going to take that. Then I said work its way to London's low. So interesting because NQ is going to be consolidating within kind of that 9 to 9:30 range. YM's getting the expansion. ES now. ES has taken that internal low, so ES is more bearish than NQ. Again, it is forming this bullish S&T though. It's funny because YM took the internal high. NQ failed to take it, which would, lead you to believe that NQ was the leading bearish asset, as it is more bearish than YM. But then you look at YM and you see, oh wow, off of that manipulation, it actually expanded all the way to the 4 hour lows. So it's more bearish than NQ. But it also likes to just get the move better. I don't think this bullish S&T will hold, but I'm going to keep it marked up. So generally, I would look at these S&Ts on both sides of the range. Just see how NQ is kind of reacting and then frame this as a consolidation. So until it clears up, it is muddy. When you're marking out the standard deviation, you're marking out the failure swing leg. Are you marking it out on ES?
No, I did NQ.
Okay. NQ is the failure swing.
I did, yeah.
Guess it's kind of Geez, another S&T. Let's keep printing them. Now this one is a little different though, because we have that bullish one there that we didn't deliver it off of. So it's almost like I wouldn't count this one as much. Unless it were to hold. But I would have a higher expectation that it gets inversed. Got 3 minutes until the 50-minute candle closes. No, the 4 hour and the hourly, I guess. Not just the 15.
Yeah.
Oh. So, we got a mess of S&Ts, but if I just focused on the one that we most recently printed, if we were to inverse that imbalance, it would seem like it goes lower. YM, we can obviously understand that it is quite a bit more bearish than NQ. NQ is still range bound though, so I don't really want to be executing on it. I want to stay out until it clears it up, like I said twice before, I guess.
I like the SMT that we formed with ES and YM at the, well, I guess that's all-time highs.
Oh, how YM didn't take it, yeah. Well, NQ didn't take it out.
No, but
NQ
it's because ES looks cleaner because it is like it's the same high on YM.
Oh, okay, yeah.
NQ doesn't really have that. Like NQ took it a while ago. But ES and YM look good. Good bearish structure. I'd want these 50 minutes to get inversed. So YM's obviously the more bearish of the three. The only thing is, ES is weaker than NQ based off the reaction. So I don't.
Is it though?
Like, I don't want to be taking shorts on the strongest asset.
Hey, yeah, you do.
It's NQ, so we'll see.
You want to be taking them on NQ. ES is more bearish, but they'll all work together. We're gonna break the seal here. Actually close below maybe the 5-minute candles, and actually have that kind of order block. Very wicky, I might add. But I guess I'm looking at this inversion right now and kind of expecting it to work lower, get that 5-minute close in the next 20 seconds. Can that be possible? Go 5 points lower. We'll get it. Oh, it's not getting it. Wow. Okay, there's 10 a.m. Opens up right in a 1-minute fair value gap. Right in the inverse. So I suppose if we were to see the first 5 minutes of 10 a.m., maybe retrace a little bit and then expand in that candle, and then that would be better for shorts. The reason I'm looking for shorts currently is just with how we've taken this high here. I don't know, below it, consolidating. To see longs, I would have wanted, honestly, a better retracement. Like, if we had expanded through here, let's say this 4-hour expanded through here, and we already had another 4-hour candle, I'd look for that gap to deliver long. I mean, it's very tricky because I do understand the characteristics of the long on all-time high day and longing at all-time highs. It often just runs with this manipulation lower. That's why I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just wanting the shorts until they're wrong.
Well, I want to see what YM does here because YM did just trade into the hourly gap and swept the 9 o'clock hourly candle low.
Oh, yes, we have taken that pre-market sell side.
So, like, if YM immediately starts pumping off of this and starts getting good closes, then I'd expect NQ to run higher. But I would prefer to get short structure Those are just actually like stuff to target.
Yeah. Well, YM, like I said, is working towards line and low. So if we could see something corresponding with that down move on NQ, then that would be good, and I'd want to be executing in that price leg. Which, I mean, that might be. I don't know when that might be. It's going to be as soon as NQ clears something out here. Okay, kind of following the 5-minute candle is kind of following what I wanted to see. We open higher with the 10 a.m. Potentially looking at that being the wick there. And then to see the expansion lower. And this is like an internal model. That's the sell side. And then I'd be targeting probably further sell side too. Depending on, that'd be depending on YM and where we're reaching into.
Okay, so ES is trading into its hourly gap as well and 15-minute order block. So we'll see how we react there if we just inverse this 15-minute gap. And if NQ inverses its 50-minute gaps, then I'd look for a short.
Mine's pretty much if we're starting to displace coming into the low, showing that we're not wanting to hold any bullish SMT. Right? If NQ, the more bullish asset, starts to get good displacement lower, kind of catching up to ES and YM, then I'm looking at the shorts that would become pretty valid at that point. Just had this 1 minute down leg, kind of just as I described the 5-minute candle potentially printing. Yeah, trades a little bit higher. Right, that's the 10 a.m. wick. Then we get the down movement. We get a 1 minute close. I guess that's technically inversing the first presented fair value gap there. So, and here's like the displacement I was talking about. Now, we've got 1 minute and 30 till the 5-minute candle closes. I do want to see this displacement, though. I'm not going to be executing without this displacement. I do really want it to be cleared up. That's too much. There's a little too much. Getting too picky, maybe. Now we've taken this internal low. Now it's
That's the hourly gap as well.
now it's I don't like that hourly gap, but sure there's that hourly gap there. But now we've taken the internal low, so it's harder for me to frame a trade now. I like being in displacement above any form of sell side. Now that we've taken internal sell side, I automatically need more time behind the trade structure. I mean, like a good confluence for us is going to be this 5-minute change in state. What we look at is this premium imbalance here. We form this internal SMT, and now we're starting to work lower from that. Getting the confirmation here that close is fitting in line with my bearish bias here, and I guess my draw on liquidity down here. I want to more importantly watch YM. If YM's straight dumping to London's low, that's where I'd be considering taking it off on NQ here. Okay, there's that 5-minute close. Now, with how I'm looking at that, that is extremely bearish and good for shorts. So we've got that 5-minute order block formed. It doesn't need to trade into that. It has. On the 5-minute, there's a wick. We've invalidated that wick. Traded back to the equilibrium, or the consequent encroachment of it. So I want to start looking for shorts. NQ hasn't really got that flip, the full bearish flip I was talking about. ES is, I gotta zoom out here, but ES is coming close to this sell side, which on NQ is right there. It's not quite at it yet. There's a little 2-minute gap. Traded into that first presented fair value gap. area. Does seem kind of indecisive, doesn't it? NASDAQ. Can you make your mind up? Maybe not. So not sustaining that displacement. I'm not looking for real shorts right now. Just not the quality and the validation that I would need. I mean, the way I look at it now, we got the 10 a.m. opening, or 4-hour open. A little bit of trading higher, but the majority of the opposing run is into the sell side from 9:30. So it takes that 9:30 sell side and then gets the decent reaction here. We're actually inversing the 2-minute imbalance. So I suppose if you were bullish at all-time highs and you were expecting the 15-minute gaps to hold, this would be a form of entry here, which is more of a V-shaped inverse entry.
It traded to that hourly and it formed SMT with a low from pre-market on the hourly chart.
With what?
A low from pre-market on the hourly chart.
With the SMTs with what? ES or YM?
Oh, YM.
Okay.
Because YM traded into the hourly gap, and that the low of the hourly gap was the low on
those equal lows. YM definitely looks like it is going to just run through that gap, though. Just the way it's kind of holding itself. NQ just seems like the oddball today. I really want to know what that the Hogue audio pack is on Topstat.
Yeah.
Just test along with one mic real quick.
Well, I might actually get in along here. 10 a.m. I like how the 4-hour chart supports expansion. Like we reverse at London.
It does.
6 a.m. candle expands. Does take out the draw on liquidity, but 10 a.m. does open lower. Trades into the hourly gap. SMT with the pre-market low. Strong reaction. We might get a 15-minute order, or we probably will get a 15-minute order block here in the next 4 minutes, along with that 5-minute change in state.
I'm looking for the 5 minute change state and inversion, and then I'm gonna try and look to catch the tap of that in expansion.
I want to see ES and YM start to flip bullish as well. I'd like to see YM get the 5 minute change in state.
How could I hear you execute? I want to hear it. It's gonna be funny. I want to hear it. I don't want to wait until I have to execute to do it. We would be fading the top step live traders if we longed, which I am all for doing.
I do almost want to wait for a retracement and then take a continuation order block just because
That is exactly what the 5 minute would be for me. The change in state and the inversion forming a fair value gap.
you're talking like up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forming that fair value gap that we would, on the displacement. So form the 5 minute fair value gap on the displacement. Then we would potentially have the internal model. And that would, I think, clear up ES at this point, because ES is still kind of still holding something that would be bearish.
Because that's a pretty strong reaction off of that hourly gap.
It is decently strong. We are still within the range though, like the consolidation range, and that's why I want to be definitely higher criteria day, I guess you could call it.
Yes, I mean ideally we form this, get this 50-minute change in or 50-minute order block, 5 minute change in state, and then have like if we retrace to that lower 3 minute gap, and then get an order block off of that, I would probably look to take that. Still have 2 minutes until this 50-minute candle closes. YM's failing to reverse as well, though. So going to be cautious.
I think ES leaving these relatively good lows might want to drop down and take them. But NQ's opening range looks absolutely horrible. Looks like walk away right now. So, not going to walk away. I'm just very cautious of today's trading. Since the government shutdown, we've had very weird price action. Consolidate, and then all of a sudden, boom, the market's on and it actually runs and kind of carries all of the volatility from that you would have had normally in that one little period of time, and it runs quick.
Okay, we got 1 50-minute and 5 minute close.
Well, unless it got some serious displacement right now, it would not look that good. So technically, if you were if you were counting the last 5 minute down candle as the order block, we have just traded to it there. But if you count the down leg, the sequence of down close candles as an order block, then we're not forming it yet. I prefer the latter. But also, yes, seeing ES right here with those relatively good lows, and even at that high point at 10-11, I was still saying, it's not really invalidated what would look more bearish. So, kind of held that 5 minute order block, the 50-minute inversion, if you will, and just inverse the other 15-minute fair value gap. So,
Okay, so we didn't get the 50-minute or 5 minute closes at.
oops.
You would have wanted to see for bullish scenario. The 3 minute gap is traded to now.
ES with that 15-minute inverse is definitely bearish.
Yeah.
Bearish. YM.
And they're both failing to reverse.
YM consolidating now, which I think means it's going to dump at some point. See, that's why I don't want to long, because I feel like it's just going to leave it like this. I don't want to do anything, actually. It's not going anywhere. Even if it were to form a setup, would you not classify it as less probable just because of how we've kind of traded?
Um, well, we had the period of accumulation, yeah, but then the manipulation at 10 a.m. to take that low. I just want to see us if we're gonna do anything to leave this area soon.
But if I go in the 5 minute and squint, it looks cool. But you are right, yeah. If we were to aggressively expand here, getting what I said would be decent. I'd consider something. Well, yeah, no, just sitting here and watching it. We haven't seen anything exciting from what I would from how I would classify exciting price action. Usually means I'm winning, but
I mean, we inversed that 3 minute gap. So just chop, 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 chop.
oops. It's funny because I was like, it just looks like it's gonna chop today. I mean, I guess we kind of also you also said yes, we've taken the all-time highs, which was the draw on liquidity. We took a pre-market, pre-open. So, well, what's that mean? That means it often has a consolidation to it. So there was a potential trade that I did kind of mentally note, but not end up taking because my 5 minute change in state didn't happen, and it was this short here. So this gets this inverse. The only thing for me, right, since I like to have a stop loss at the swing high, that would be the stop loss. That's the break even. So you've got an under 1 hour break even on the trade. The expected profit target would be about there. But the reason I didn't take it was because at that time we hadn't formed that 5 minute change in state, which I wanted, and I wanted the displacement to clear the consolidation up. So I didn't want to be trading during the consolidation, so I avoided that one. That's the trade that a lot of the people that trade inverses, they were taking that really tight stop loss, magic stop loss placement, and then it doesn't get taken out. Still haven't seen anything today that's like, this is my trade. Even if we were to just dump right now, I just don't. Like, it's not the trade I'm usually taking. So I don't know. Don't know what I do there.
All right. So now
We took the
shorts.
internal low.
Now shorts.
Well, they were shorts from that failure swing high, but like, how do you know That's the high when it's not really doing a manipulation of any sort. It's just kind of up there. The way we trade, this up move had not much logic for us. I did call it out in ES though, and then how we would work through that low because we left it relative equal, and then I guess the higher time frame bias to the London's low. Now it's taking the pre-market or the 4-hour lows right there, the previous 4-hour lows, which were relative equal in a sense. So I guess NQ getting the displacement through there is kind of clearing it up now. I am still expecting a decent sized range today. I was just trying to pinpoint what direction and what time that would be at. I find the 30-minute increments of each hourly candle tend to have more volatility. So like I'm talking about if you were to like break down the hourly candle and you go from like 20 to 30, 20 to 20 to 40, that 20-minute window has a lot of the volatility of the hourly candles. Pretty much any hourly candle. It's also the middle of the hourly candle. That could be exactly why it's got more volatility. It's the body. So you look at YM, like I said, it's going to just consolidate and then drop aggressively. It did do that. I mean, you could even go back in the live stream and hear me say that. I think it's kind of characteristic of YM to take a sell side, and if it's consolidating, it's going to continue lower. If it reverses, it's not the continuation lower. Okay, ES taking those 4-hour lows right there. Go to the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to squish it a little bit, but yeah, we took that. So yesterday I did post on my Twitter a bearish expectation. I kind of want to recap that in the live stream. It was at this point in London or Asia session that I wanted to see a retracement and the continuation lower, then London session continue. But the fact that it didn't do that, and then watching this, so this is how I would have framed if I was watching it in the overnight, I wouldn't have seen any shorts valid because we just kind of worked higher. We put this high in here, which actually inverts the hourly gap. Then we drop lower, still no shorts here because we would just inverse that gap. Then we form S&T there. Then I'm like, oh, okay, how's the S&T going to deliver? Well, that closed there, and the retracement here would lead me to expect this high once more before going lower. Okay, now something on NQ that we have is the 15-minute inversion. Interesting.
Yeah, I'd like a.
You could have taken the 15-minute inversion on. Yes, sorry, I kind of cut you off, but I was going to say it anyway. Yeah, it had been up already. I could play it out. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say if we get a retracement to like the 5-minute order block there, which we just fell short of, paired with if we get that 3-minute gap as well in the next 2 minutes or whatever, and then trade to that and then get confirmation lower, I'd probably take that short.
I don't like the reversal structure for shorts. Like, it's fine. It's just not my jam.
If it doesn't like immediately dump though, then it'll probably just be back in the consolidation. Like ideally, we see that shallow retracement here in the next couple minutes, and then we get the expansion lower, leading into 11 o'clock, having inverse this hourly gap.
Whoa.
Just completely inversing that. Yeah. Oh, not yet. We actually have another minute.
Nobody watching this live stream. I think it's pretty valuable. A lot of traders are getting either cooked or they're winning. It seems like everybody's trading today, though. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Ooh, I had that tweet last night that got 170 views. It's a lot of eyes. I said it's going to be a banger because as soon as I posted it, somebody liked it. I mean, obviously, it would have been nice if my bias played out, but it was an expectation. I said, could it be possible? Didn't say this is what's happening for sure. Okay, so what can we look at right now? Well, we inversed the 15-minute, but we took the internal sell side, and then we got some aggressive kind of up move on both ES and NQ. ES has taken out this low down here. So there is the S&T. NQ is still holding within the mid-range. I guess there's a 100-point London range to New York AM high. I'm not seeing anything that aligns with the higher time frame right now yet. Like even if I were to say that I expect it to run higher here, we haven't had any confirmation that we are going to continue higher, so I can't trade that. If you look at the 15-minute candle, they're still bearish, right? We put the high in, looking for the low of it to be put in, which would be the continuation lower. I guess you could potentially use that wick higher as the retracement, and it's a good.
That's what I was talking about. Like the 30-minute candle opened up, trades into the 30-minute inversion, and that 5-minute order block, and then fills that 2-minute gap. I'm looking at this 3-minute order block.
Also the 15-minute though, so.
Yeah, 50-minute inversions and whatever else is up there. I like this 3-minute. I like this 3-minute order block. I'll probably take this 3-minute order block.
You should just take this candle closing now.
Oh,
that is that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you'd still be taking it.
I'll sell some and I'll look to add more.
What?
Oh my god. Bro, no, Hogue. It's so loud.
The order execution, the Hogue audio pack.
Oh my god. That is insane.
What did he say?
Bro, you want to hear this? This is ridiculous.
You gonna add more or something?
I'll add one more here, quick.
Okay, I didn't get in because fuck.
Just put this on quick.
Oh my god. Hold on, let me just...
Okay, ready?
Okay, we had a little bit of issues going on around the technical end here. I didn't get in the trade. Now, that was the 3-minute inverse. Or not inverse, change in state. I was looking for that on the 1-minute close. It did have a little bit worse of a fill than I wanted to see. But I do suppose it is quite bearish looking. My target would be London's low, as the higher time frame expectation is London's low. Can we get any retracement for me, or am I going to be left in the dust?
I'm considering. No, I'm definitely gonna go to break even once YM or ES trades to London's low. That's gonna be my break even
fill price?
trigger.
Your fill prices.
I got the 3-minute.
Why are you in so light though?
6.
Oh, you're in 6?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I looked. It said 3. I forgot you added.
I'm full sized. Yeah, so I'm gonna go break even once ES or YM trades to London low.
I was
And
kind of
then,
hesitant because I wanted a little bit better displacement.
that was pretty good displacement, no?
Well, no, like just because of like if I'm looking at the chart here, to me this just looks like it's grinding lower, like in a consolidation, kind of like that. So I wanted to confirm that the displacement lower was valid. It didn't feel like my trade that I'm taking every day. That is like a great trade. That's why I didn't hop in. I do like the what can you call it? The 50-minute inverse though. Oh, what you could do, you're in this. Hold it to London's low on like ES or something.
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Well, YM is quite close to London's low.
We'll see what NQ does here though. Like yeah, I mean, since we already had SMT at London low,
Well,
and then that delivered to the high, like I don't really expect us to form another SMT with London low and then reverse from there and continue higher.
but it's still, whether or not you want to follow what I'm going to say, it's still a good area to partial.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where NQ is though. Like if NQ's like at the low of that previous candle that we kind of just formed there, like that's only not even a 1 hour. But yeah, if I'm at like a 1.3 or 1.4 hour and ES is taking London's low, then I'll probably just take it off.
I was stubborn when it came to my entry there. It was a little too displacey for me to get in all the way down there, so I didn't hop into. I was looking for the 1 minute kind of close on the change in state a little bit better and not have that 10-point difference. I had my contracts kind of pre-selected. And I was like, ah, shit, I got to change it now. And I didn't know my exact number here. But now seeing ES kind of displaced through that low, right? NQ have this displacement at equilibrium here. Now I'm building the confidence in this trade and further targets, right? I have Asia low, London low, but I can't forget that on my analysis that I did yesterday, I was expecting London low from previous day to be taken. So to see it trade to previous day's London low and maybe the current weekly low would definitely satisfy me. I would just like an entry model.
We have a small 3-minute gap here.
And a 1-minute gap. The 1-minute gap's fairly large. I don't know if you're on the 1 minute or not. You can see it, but I traded to that 1 minute. I was waiting for this 1 minute to be traded to and see how it's gonna react here. I guess I would look to be in off of something on that fair value gap there. Because I'm watching ES, I'm just watching the structure that we're forming in this discount here. I guess ES is in ES is in a good place for continuing lower. I want it to be aggressive though. So I'm looking at this fair value gap to see what we get here for entries. Pretty good initial reaction here. I was gonna get on the 1 minute close change and say here, but I didn't get it. It needed to close kind of at my line here. I was gonna just get in a little bit lighter to start it and potentially pyramid in depending on the volatility, but I'm waiting to see this next candle here. How we'll close. See if we were to close a little bit lower than there, that'd be where I'm getting in. All right, so here's a little bit of displacement coming out of that 1 minute fair value gap, which I am looking to get in on. They get 30 seconds here. I couldn't pull the trigger there.
Yeah, that's all right. It's kind of it's a little sloppy.
No, I want to. That's the problem. I'll watch this lower 15-minute gap. It just to me, I'm looking at like I'm like, it's really discounted now. We've had how many price legs that have done the exact same thing? And I'm like, ooh, it's throwing me off a little bit. So seeing this 50-minute candle close right there, we have formed a never mind, not a fair value gap, but we closed below these up close candles, invalidating that bullish order block, which is fairly bearish, right? I do really like the drop to Asia's low.
Oh, good morning. How are you doing? How are you?
Okay, so I'm looking at, we kind of just fell short of that internal sweep, which I would have wanted to see, if I'm going to be honest, to then actually frame an entry. I haven't gotten anything that's like stood out to me so much where I'm like, I need to take this yet. So if I miss a trade, then I miss a trade due to a lack of, I would say, confidence in trading at this time, which I'm fine with because the conditions just didn't stand out to me really. We have got that 15-minute close now, which is a extra reason to see lower. The 6 a.m. did manipulate. 10 a.m. is reversing. I did kind of expect that though. That was my bias coming into the day. Still above the sell side here, where we have that SMT. ES isn't at London's low or really working towards London low aggressively, so not worried about that yet. But yeah, looking at NQ here, we just fell short of that internal high. I wonder if we have with YM SMT there or something. No, they're equal too. So right there, we're on a 15-minute candle opening, trading higher into that reclaimed order block or inverse order block, and working lower now. Have a bullish 15-minute fair value gap that I wouldn't expect it to really hold. If it took that internal high, I would be in this.
Yeah, that would have been a good
It got
little turtle soup.
It got real close, but well, I wouldn't have turtle souped it, but I would have looked at it as a manipulation. Thing is, the trade still got good RR. Like even if I were to get in on say that down close candle, it does feel like I'm bottom blasting it. But if I put my stop loss at the internal high, I would have a 3R to the Asia low pretty much. I just cannot get in this. It doesn't feel like my trade. Maybe flip the chart. Let's see. Yeah, even if I was like looking at a bullish chart here, I'd want to see the internal manipulation once more. It was funny when we first started learning how to trade. Maybe not first started, but about a year into it, we kind of reviewed more examples of bearish price action and bearish setups, and we were finding them easier to trade. The down moves were actually more probable for us. We would win more on shorts than longs. Actually, it was a case with a lot of people, I think, that we knew in the trading space too. They would joke and say it's gravity. That's why it's easier to short. I do really like these. I'm going to zoom out here. I do really like this as the consolidation low, so work below. So ES kind of left equal lows there. I think it would want to take them.
All right, I'm going to break even there. My stop loss is now above the 1 minute fair value gap that we formed at 10:49. I'm actually above that 10:49 candle with my break even, so I'm fine with that. I don't want to see it return back into this consolidation, especially after having the strength switch. Why I'm trading into that 50-minute bearish fair value gap, forming SMT with the previous 50-minute candle high. Now NQ being the weaker asset, I don't want to see us get deep retracements. Yeah, like if this 1 minute gap doesn't hold and it gets inversed, then it's probably going to trade up into the above those relative equal highs. But I don't want to even see that because there's no imbalance there, besides the 3 minute gap that we've already traded into twice. I'd like to see YM start to displace lower here off that 15-minute gap. Pretty much filled it perfectly. So I think as soon as YM starts to flip back bearish and the assets start moving in sync, it should be a fast move to the sell side. Yeah, so here's the speed. YM is going to get a change in state to the downside off that 50-minute. So I'd want that to be the high. I don't want to see any more retracements. So this is a 1.2R to this internal low here. And then 3R to London low. I'm probably going to take a partial here.
Ruin your restore order.
Yeah, it's not even, I don't even think it's worth it, honestly.
It would ruin like a 1.2R.
If I'm going to take it off, I would just take it all off.
If you're gonna partial, you're gonna realize $60.
Yeah, it's not even worth it. I have to partial half.
And
I mean, that wouldn't be
still only be $150.
But if I secure 150, then I have 400. The rest would be 400 at that low. So that's not bad. We'll see here. See if we even get down there.
Do you think that Charlotte Thorne actually day trades?
I have no clue. I've never seen her post a day trading
video. I don't think she has. She's talked about it. I just think that
no, but like I meant like actual like charts. Like I've never seen her post.
I think her
anything.
I think her boyfriend's just like, you need to say this. You're gonna get so many views. Come on. I actually I don't know why, but any like model that is a day trader, like a real hot girl that day trades, and just I don't believe it. Why would you willingly lock yourself in 2 years to learn how to day trade? You could be a model.
I want to see us honestly expand in the next 2 minutes pretty aggressively, because then we're not close to my break even when we open up at 11.
Yeah.
Because like if I'm thinking 11 o'clock's going to open up, trade into something, it would trade into,
Those relative equal highs.
because there's no other PD array unless it just expands lower right at 11. But if 11 o'clock doesn't immediately expand lower, it's probably going to take me to break even and trade up to those relative equal highs. But considering the moves have been pretty sloppy this entire morning, I'd prefer to see just a fast expansion here at 11.
I'm not in it. The choppiness. I just kind of get around it.
YM's in its 1 minute gap aligned with the change in state, so I want to see us dump off of that. Yeah, there's a new hourly candle open. Yeah, there's really nothing to trade into. The only thing actually is that 15-minute inversion,
Yes.
which
Is pretty much
but
tagged.
there's nothing aligned with that on the lower, like internally here. Like there's no 5-minute gap, there's no 3-minute gap, there's no order block. The only thing is that high inside the 1 minute gap that we've already displaced out of.
At least you're chilling at break even.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm fine with it too because a different story if like my break even was at a level where we could possibly retrace to, but for me it doesn't make sense to retrace to my break even here.
Except to fill me.
Let's hope it does that below my break even.
No, I mean, you'd get a re-entry if it filled me. Like, right?
Well, I don't see anything that interests me up here that I'd want to take a short off of because it's super choppy. But yeah, risks removed, so whatever happens, happens. This is my trade for the day, so after this, I'll be done.
Be done after this one?
Yeah. Well, if it retraces higher, like I don't see a good spot for a reversal or continuation, I guess. Because we already have that SMT too with YM at that 30-minute. Wait, no, 50-minute highs. I really like how NQ is the weakest of the three now. After it was the strongest, and then it flipped to being the weakest, which is nice. So you have NQ displaces lower, and then YM and ES also flip back bearish and trade to London's low. Whichever one takes London's low first, I'll be out at. Honestly, it looks like ES is going to trade to London's low first.
Tremaine was like pyramiding in from way up there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, from not way up there, but what's this?
Okay, we took that pre-market low.
Like, you know the candle that had that 15-minute inversion? Yeah, he was like on that retracement shorting. See, now I will not be having an entry most likely. It's going to just run lower. It did it in a very slow and choppy manner, which I didn't want to see. I actually had the expectation that we would have the regular trading hours fill, which we did. The only problem was it right here when we were looking at that internal sweep, didn't quite get it. I'm fine not taking any trades there. Where I wanted to see the trade, it didn't really present itself.
Speed's picking up. I want to see ES follow through to London's low, and I'll be out there.
You stressing?
A little bit. It's a little close.
You're hovering over the sell button. So.
Yeah, I'm waiting for.
You're not gonna let NQ hit the target?
I don't know if Inky's gonna go there. I mean, it should, hey.
I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. You close
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You want to close it?
You know, I'm just gonna take some off here. I'm gonna take 4 off. Hogue, holy man. Okay, I took 4 off there. I have 2 running to London's low.
Yeah. So taking 4 off once ES is taking London's low.
I actually took 5 off. I got 1 go. It's not even worth it. I'm out. I'm out there. Done.
So you're just out when London's low was taken.
Yeah.
See, and I did kind of expect this to happen, as in like once it got through the low to just go right to the next one. Obviously, I knew there wouldn't be an entry, so I said, there's no entry for me. It was, just a little bit kind of a slower price action for me. I did totally expect the dump though, which is shitty. When did I say? I was like, I do expect today's range to be about 150 points to London's low, and it did do that. So
Honestly, this was the. I mean, yeah. If this is how it would have got taken here,
I would.
This was the 50-minute candle opened, and we put SMT in with that high there.
There's your London's low on NQ taken.
Yeah. There we go.
I guess what you could have said is that 1 minute fair value gap that we retraced into. But here's what I was going to execute on that. I was going to execute right here on the change in state, but it didn't get it where I wanted to, and it kind of wicked there, and I was like, I'm not going to take that. Then it went higher, which would have actually not stopped me out. It was going to be up there.
Oh, okay.
Because my trade was looking like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong way. Yeah. In the moment, I said, not trigger finger, but whatever, scared to pull the trigger. That's what I said.
Ooh, dumping.
What I also highlighted
Crazy
was
dumping.
that the higher time frame bias is still quite bearish. So to run to the current weekly low and previous day's London session low were in the cards, but obviously this is much quicker than expected.
Yeah,
that would have been a nice
That's
$500.
crazy.
That would have been a $500 difference on your position.
Yeah.
Holy
That would like doubled my win. That's
Well,
crazy.
yeah.
But no, I'm fine with that.
Sometimes you gotta let the winners run a little bit more, especially if it's in line with the expansion. Not like an unrealistic runner, but not even runner, but like if you have like really good momentum, why try and bottom take it, right?
Yeah.
Like ride the wave a little bit better. That's the thing I've noticed with my winners too, is a lot of the times when they have, like, say my TP is going to get ran out with like this much volatility. If I just weren't going to close it, if I didn't close it until like, we rejected that level, then it would still be better. Total value wise.
All right. Well, probably end the stream there.
I'm going to sulk because I've missed the trade. So.
End the stream there. I'll post a trade recap on Twitter in probably about 10 minutes here. And then, we'll see you tomorrow. Wait, we have